In the previous class, we discussed about three equations of motions, such as one v is equal to u plus a t, that is velocity time relation. Second one, s equal to u t plus half a t square, position time relation. Third one, 2as equal to v square minus u square, position velocity relation. With these equations, we did some problems from text. Some more problems also given there. Let us work out at first today. The question is that a train is traveling at a speed of 90 km per hour. Brakes are applied so as to produce a uniform acceleration of minus 0.5 meter per second square. Find how far the train will go before it is brought to rest. A train is traveling at a speed of 90 km per hour. That means its initial velocity is 90 km per hour. Brakes are applied so as to produce a uniform acceleration of minus 0.5 meter per second square. So acceleration A is equal to minus 0.5 meter per second square. Find how far the train will go before it is brought to rest. That means we want to find out its displacement. Yes. See, its initial velocity u equal to 90 km per hour. That we can convert it into meter per second. That is 90 into 5 by 80. To change kilometer per hour into meter per second, we want to multiply 5 by 80. Then we get 1990, 80 5 times. Then this 5 into 5, 25 meter per second. 25 meter per second. Now, A is given as minus 0.5 meter per second square. We want to find out the distance, which relation we can use here. Distance, final velocity we know. Finally, the velocity become. But when the train comes to rest, its final velocity v becomes 0 meter per second. So we can choose this one. That is to find s, we can choose the relation 2as equal to b square minus u square. That is 2 into a minus 0.5 into s equal to b square, finally is 0. That is minus u square. U is how much? 25 square. That is this one multiply, we get minus 1. This 2 multiply, we get minus 1 into s. That is equal to 0 square is 0. That we can avoid. That is minus 25 square is 625. From this s equal to, that means the distance traveled by the train is equal to minus 625 divided by minus 1. That is minus by minus equal to plus, that is 625 meter. Before the train comes to rest, it travels at a distance of 625 meter. This is the distance. Once again, when the train starts to apply, when the brake starts to apply, its speed was 90 km, so it is initial. To convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second, we multiplied with 5 by 18 because 1000 by 60 into 60. that we got as a 25 meter per second. Its final velocity is 0 by because the train comes to rest. Substituting these values in this equation, 2a is equal to v square minus u square, we get it as 625. 625 meter is the distance traveled by the train before it comes to rest. Now another problem given is a trolley while going down an inclined plane has an acceleration of 2 cm per second square. What will be its velocity 3 seconds after the start? A trolley while going down an inclined plane has an acceleration. Acceleration of the trolley is 2 cm per second square. What will be its velocity 3 seconds after the start? That is, time is given 3 seconds and it starts from rest. So u is equal to 0, its initial. Now we know velocity is equal to u plus a t. Now v is equal to u. It starts from rest, so its initial velocity is 0 plus a. That is 2 meter, 2 into time 3. That is v is equal to, we want to add 0 to this one, that we can leave. Then 2 into 3 is 6 meter per second. 6 meter per second is the speed after 3 seconds of that trolley. Now another problem given is a racing car has a uniform acceleration. A racing car has a uniform acceleration of 4 meter per second square. 4 meter per second square. Uniform acceleration is equal to 4 meter per second square. What distance will it cover in 10 seconds after start? How much it travel? 10 seconds after start. T is equal to 10 seconds. And it starts, so its initial velocity u is equal to 0 meter per second. Now we want to find out how far it travels. Say here a is given, t is given, u also given. So we can use this relation to find the distance traveled by the racing car. So S equal to ut plus half a t square. That is distance traveled as u. Its initial speed, this 0 into time t 10 seconds plus half into a. Acceleration is 4 into t is 10 square. That means 10 into 10. That is S is equal to this 0 into 10 is 0 plus this 2 and 4 we can cancel 2. Then what we get 10 into 10, 100 into 2, 200. That is S equal to 0 plus 200 means that means nothing we want to add. That means 200 meter is the distance traveled by the racing car. Once again, the car is uniformly accelerating. So A is equal to 4 meter per second square. And time after 10 seconds, we want to find the displacement. So T is equal to 10. It starts from rest. So U equal to 0. Putting these values in this equation, S equal to ut plus half a t square, we get its displacement is 200 meter. Okay, before it that is after it starts 10 seconds. Now another one problem is given. A stone is thrown in a vertically upward direction with a velocity of 5 meters per second. A stone is thrown upward with a velocity of 5 meters per second. If the acceleration of the stone during its motion is 10 meters per second square, acceleration of the stone is equal to 10 meters per second square. 10 meters per second. If the acceleration of the stone during its motion is 10 meters per second square in the downward direction. In the downward direction, that means a stone is going up, acceleration is down. So that acceleration is minus. Now, what will be the height attained by the stone and how much time will it take to reach there? Two things we want to find. How much height it attains, that means we want to find out how much height it travels and also we want to find out how much time will it take to reach there. That means we want to find out two things, that is yes, the height and t, the time. Now we know that at its maximum height v becomes 0. That means final velocity becomes 0 when it reaches at its maximum height. So this. Now we can find this at first time. Let us find time taken. That means we know the first equation v is equal to u plus a t. Its final velocity is 0. So 0 is equal to u. It is thrown at 5 meters per second plus a is velocity is in the upward direction and acceleration in the downward, so it is minus 10 into t. From this minus 10 t we can plot to this side, then 10 t is equal to 5 or t is equal to 5 by 2, that is equal to 5 by 10, that is equal to 1 by 2, that is over 0.5 will get a second. Now we got the time taken to reach the maximum height. Now what other thing we want to find out, that is the displacement, that is s or h we want to find out. For that we can use this relation, s equal to u t plus half a t square. That is s equal to u. How much is its initial velocity? Its initial velocity is 5. What is the time taken? Time taken to travel 1 by 2 plus this 1 by 2 into acceleration is minus 10. That is minus 10 into next term is t square. T is how much we got as 1 by 2. That means so t square is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 or 1 by 2 the whole square. 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 or 1 by 2 the whole square. Both are same. Here that is s is equal to, that is 5 into 1 by 2 means 5 by 2, that is 2.5. This plus into this minus is minus. Now 1 into 10 into 1 into 1, that is equal to 10 by 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 2, 8. 10 by 8. That is s equal to 2.5 minus, when we divide 10 with 8 we get 1.25. So that is s is equal to, from this relation s is equal to how much? S equal to 2.5 minus 1.25 means remaining is 1.25 meter. This is the height that the stone travel in the upward. Once again, here given a stone is thrown upward with a velocity of 5 meters per second, and the acceleration in that stone is 10 meters per second square. It is in the downward, so it is taken as a minus. Its final velocity is 0 because at the maximum height when it reaches, it comes to rest. So at first we are going to find its time. V is equal to u plus 80. From this we got t is 1 by 2. We can use another equation also. Now we are going to find the maximum height attained, s equal to u t plus half a square, or we can use this relation also. From this, by putting u as 5 and t as 1 by 2 plus half into, instead of a we put as minus 10, and t square is 1 by 2 the whole square, that is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. Hence, yes, here 5 into 1 by 2, that is 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. And here this plus into minus is minus, and 1 into 10 into 10 into 1, this we got as 10, and 2 into 4 into 8. 10 by 8 is 1.25. By subtracting, we got the answer 1.25 meter. These are the problems given in your text to solve. Now we can go to another table. See, that is uniform circular motion. In the beginning of this unit, we discussed about motion along straight line. Now we are going to discuss about uniform circular motion. We know when the velocity of a body changes, we say that body is accelerating. When the velocity of a body changes, we say that body is accelerating. That means to change velocity of a body, its magnitude change or direction change, or change both of these. When does the velocity of a body change, or when does a body accelerate? When the magnitude of velocity change, or direction of velocity change, or both of them change. Now consider an occasion in which only changes direction but no change in magnitude. Now let us consider a case where there is no change in magnitude but only changes its direction. For example, consider an athlete moves along a closed path with A, B, C, D is the closed path in which he is moving at a uniform speed. At first he running along the path AB. So to change and also to keep in the path itself, in this closed path, he changed the direction at the point B. Then he changed the direction at the point C. Then he changed the direction at D. That means he changed the direction at the 4 times in order to keep his path in this same pattern. In order to keep the path in this closed pattern, he changed his direction 4 times. Suppose he want to change, suppose we consider another path like this. A, starting from A, B, C, D, E, F. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how many times he is taking his path in order to keep the path? 6 times. See, 6 times in the hexagonal path. In order to keep his path, here he changes his direction. How many times? Here he changes his direction 6 times in order to keep the same path. Now consider another one. Here how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here is also a closed path. This one is also an octagonal path. Here how many times he changes his direction in order to keep the path? That means 8 times. See, when the number of sides increase, the direction of changing of direction also increases. When the number of sides increases in this closed path, the direction changes also increases. If this all increase indefinitely, suppose if the number of sides increases indefinitely, then the path becomes, the direction also changing indefinitely. If the number of sides increasing indefinitely, the change in the direction also increases indefinitely. So the path become a circular one. And the length of the path now changes to a point. Now the length of the path now changes to a point. Okay. Now consider its radius of this path r. Then the length of this path once when we go around is 2 pi r. What are the things we got from this figure? When the number of sides gradually increases, the direction of motion also increases from 4 to 6, 6 to 8. In this way, when the number of sides increases, his direction, that is direction of the athlete changes. If the number of sides increases indefinitely, then the direction also changes to indefinitely, and finally it becomes a circular path, and the length of the side here see gradually decreasing, and finally it becomes a point. And consider a circular path of radius r, and its length of this circular path, that is circumference is 2 pi r. To cover this distance, he took a time t. To cover this distance 2 pi r, he takes a time t. Then the velocity v is equal to 2 pi r divided by t. Then this velocity v is equal to 2 pi r by t is the velocity along this circular path. Now consider, suppose a chalk is tied in a, or a stone is tied in a thread. Now when we rotate this one, see, this one is rotating in this manner. When this rotating stone or chalk piece is, when I release this one, see, that one is gone somewhere. Through which path that one is moving? Through which path? If we repeat this, we can see when the stone is releasing at this point, see, this is the direction and it moves in this manner. Okay. If the stone is releasing at this point, this is the direction of the stone and it moves along the tangent at that point. That is, it moves along the tangent of the circular path. If the stone is releasing here, this is the point of direction of motion, and that will go in this way. here in this manner that will move. This is the case is applicable in the case of a hammer throw or a discus throw. For a hammer throw or a discus throw, the person want to rotate the hammer or discus by rotating his body and release it when it required in the direction when it want to move. In that direction that will move. So these are the things we want to remember about the uniform circular motion. That is in which direction that object is moving means in the direction where that particle is at that moment. If the stone is here, when I release it, then that moves along this tangent. That means it moves along the straight line. That is the tangent at this point. Here, if the stone is at this point, if I am releasing here at the moment, if the stone is here, then the stone is moving along the straight line which is tangent to the point. In this way, it will move. This is we considering, or this we applying there also in the discus throw, with the discus throw, and also in the case of discus throw, and also in the case of hammer throw, we using the same principle to move that hammer or discus. Now, when we consider the case of a sun or moon, examples of sun is also moving, but we cannot observe its actual rotation. But we can find the rotational motion of what is rotation and revolution of what is this moon, and also here these are all moving moon, and here these are all moving with a uniform speed, but its direction is changing. Then also that is under uniform circular motion. Okay, these things you want to remember. Okay, students, before we are going to work out exercise, we can go through once again the points which you want to remember. First of all, we discuss about the motion. What is actually motion? If the position of a body changes with the time, then we can say that body is under motion. What is a position changing with the time? Next, we discussed about the reference points. Normally, reference points from where we find the position. Usually that is origin. We consider origin as the reference point. Then we discuss about the distance and displacement. Distance and displacement. Then another point we discuss about speed, average speed. Speed is the distance traveled in unit time. Then average speed, total distance by total time. Then velocity, average velocity. Velocity is the distance with the direction. Velocity is the distance with the direction. Average velocity is the initial velocity plus final velocity by 2. That means that by using this relation we can find out the average velocity. Then next we discussed about acceleration. Acceleration is the change in velocity that takes place in unit time. It can be positive when if acceleration is in the direction of velocity, then negative opposite they are. Then we can come across to distance time graph, then velocity time graph, uniformly accelerated case and non-uniform case also. Then we go through equations of motion such as V is equal to U plus AT, S equal to UT plus half AT square, then 2AS equal to B square minus U square. These equations we got from graph, and area under velocity time graph represents displacement. These are the points. Also one more points there. What is uniform circular motion? How to find its speed? V is equal to 2 pi r divided by t. 2 pi r divided by t. By using this relation we can find out the uniform velocity when a body is in circular motion. Okay, now we can work out some problems from the textual exercise. The first one is an athlete completes one round of a circular track of diameter 200 meter in 40 seconds. An athlete completes one round of a circular track of diameter 200 meter in 40 seconds. What will be the distance covered and the displacement at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds? 2 minutes 20 seconds. We want to find out how much distance he covered and also displacement. This is the circular track. The circular track is given. An athlete completes one round of a circular track of diameter. See, this is the diameter. It is given as 200 meters. He starts from A. This is opposite of the diameter B. Now, what are the things we want to find out? In 2 minutes and 20 seconds, the distance travel and also his displacement. See, 140 seconds. He started from here and once he come here. That is, for every 40 seconds, he completed this circular path. That means in 2 minutes 20 seconds means 1 minute means 60 seconds. 2 minutes means 120 plus this total 140 seconds. In 140 seconds, that means in 40 seconds we know how much distance he covered this circumference. So we can find out that the distance he covered is equal to distance traveled is equal to, that is 2 pi r into 140 by, that is 40. That is for every 40 he completes one round. that is equal to 2 into 3.14 into R. R is the radius, diameter 200. So radius is 100 into this 140 divided by 40. 100 we can cancel. Now this 4, 2 times 2 4, this 7 times. Now this 2 and 2 can cancel. Now this with this 7 3.14 we multiply and this 100 we can give. Now see 7 into 4 20 each, remaining 2. 7 times 1 7 into 2 plus 2 9. Then 7 times 3 21. 2198. Then 20. These 20 given. Now see here 2 decimal points that we can give. That is equal to distance traveled is 2198 meter. This is the distance he traveled. Now we want to find out the displacement also. We want to find out the displacement also. We know he starts, see, at first 40 seconds he start from A. See, after 40 seconds he comes here. Again another 40 seconds he comes here. Again another 40 seconds he comes here. That means already 120 seconds is over. Now remaining this 20 seconds he travels from A and he travels in this way and he is B. Now 20 seconds is over. Now his initial position is A and the final position is B. His initial position is A, final position is B. So displacement is equal to only 200 meter. Displacement is only 200 meter. Now, okay. What are the things we discussed today? We discussed about uniform circular motion, how to find its velocity, and numerical problems. Numerical problems we solved with the equation V equal to U plus AT, S equal to U, T plus half AT square, 2A is equal to V square minus U square, and we find the distance and displacement. Okay, with this we can wind up today's class.